Okay, I'm Jim. Welcome to Time in Johnstown. I'm doing a voiceover on this video because I broke the microphone, my wireless mic, so I went ahead and recorded the video, and then I just figured I'd add the voice to it and kind of describe a little bit, what I'm doing. This isn't meant to be a tutorial. This is just for entertainment purposes only. So when you're in doubt or doing something like this, you'd always hire a professional, especially if you're doing a mini split handling refrigerants. You want somebody that is licensed to handle refrigerants, of which I am, and I have the equipment to properly handle it as well. In the bottom, you see that black tank. That's nitrogen. It's an inert gas. We breathe nitrogen all the time in the air. And I'm going to pressure test that. The Schrader ports, you can see right there, the brass valves at the end of the line sets that have the white insulation on them. I'm going to run that right up to 400 psi here very shortly once I get it hooked up. And then I'm going to go through and I'm going to bubble test. I use a solution in a squirt bottle, and I go around and check all the fittings. I'm hooking up the regulator now to the nitrogen tank. And I put that through the gauge. That way you have better control over it. You can control how much pressure goes in there. And like I say, 400 pounds is a good pressure to test. 300, 350, 400, somewhere's in there. You know, these systems run some pretty high pressures, so, you're certainly not going to damage anything. And I'm just kind of turning the regulator up to get the pressure where I want it. And then I've already got it filled now with nitrogen. As you see, I just shut the main valve off, and I'm going to watch that gauge. Now, I'm going to watch my set of gauges there. Now, normally nitrogen, it is affected by temperature, not as much as you would think, but temperature does affect the nitrogen a little bit. So you'll get a small drop when you first put the nitrogen in and then shut it off. It will stabilize. There's actually a chart that you can purchase, and right on top of my head, I can't kind of escapes me as to where the name of the website where you can go to get it, but I'm sure you could Google it and look it up. So now I'm just spraying a solution on there, looking for any bubbles, and then when I get done with that, I'll just check my pressures. And if my pressure is stabilized and it's not dropping, then then we'll be good to go. But it's a necessary step. You want to make sure, because you don't. Number one, it's illegal to release refrigerant, so you don't want to release refrigerant in the air any more than you have to. There are a certain amount of acceptable losses, but you try and minimize that as a tech. So here I'm putting a piece of the trim on. When I first put this in, I didn't have the trim pieces. I didn't get the trim the same place I bought the unit from. I really like the trim here that I'm installing. It's really a heavy-duty trim. It's wide. You can get 3 different line sets for 3 different units in that if you're careful. And it's really works quite nice. So there I'm kind of purging the nitrogen out of the system, and I'm going to let it down. And then down there on the ground, I do have a vacuum pump that I'll be hooking up. Now, this set of gauges, one of the reasons I got it is some of the mini splits, they have like 3 heads, and you have to evacuate each one separately. Well, I can kind of do them all at the same time, because then there's a large vacuum line that goes to the larger port, the Schrader port on the vacuum pump. So I believe I've had the vacuum pump on there for a while, if I'm not mistaken, and it's good. This, I've kind of edited out a lot of the nonsense. So now what you want to do when it doesn't show it really good in this video here, but when you're going to release your refrigerant, you release it very slow. At first, you crack the service valve on the Schrader port and you let some of the refrigerant out. You watch your gauge, and when you get just a couple of pounds on the gauge, now don't forget your gauge is going to be in a vacuum. When you get just a couple of pounds on there, then you want to shut it off, undo the gauge. That way you don't lose much refrigerant, and then you can continue on and then open them up. Again, you want to do it slow. There's oils and that in the compressor that you don't want going out through into the system. So here I'm laying on the ground trying to put some more of that those trim pieces up, and that's like I say, I really like that trim, but I kind of want to make it look good. On this particular unit, well, on most of them anyway, this is a Fujitsu. Your minimum line set length is 16 feet, so you have to use 16 feet of line set, and I was really close to the head, as you could see in the other video there, the part one. It doesn't go up very far. That little item I'm sliding in there now is where you can put wire ties through. It slides up and down, and it's adjustable. You can put wire ties through to strap the line set, in securely as you go. But and here's Jack the dog. He likes to get into the picture as well. But you get a lot of guys, I've seen them, they've coil it in a pretty tight coil and put it behind it. I didn't want to do that. I used the line set. It's your choice what you want to do. I like the looks of the line set. As you see, it goes up and around. And so now I'm going in. Got the remote in hand. I'm going to just turn it on. And I want to make sure, because I'm actually getting... Okay, so it's all hooked up and it works great. I've been heating with it now for a while. I had to add this at the end because, my editing, I'm getting there, but a little bit to go yet. So if you liked the video, if you made it this far, I want to say thank you. Hit the like button. You can subscribe. It's free. Won't cost you a thing, at least for now. Who knows in the future? Share it with friends if you think somebody might enjoy it. At least if you subscribe, you'll be notified, that I put some more videos up. And if you want, leave your comments down below. I'd love to get some comments and start a little dialogue. If you have any questions, have any constructive criticism, I'm always open for that. So thanks again. You guys have a great day.